Absolutely, Steve. Always in the background there. Such a big part of OPEC policy making, frankly, for the last 3 decades or so. And it's something that we heard yesterday in that fantastic conversation that he had with our very own Halima Croft here on the sidelines of the World Energy Congress. He was essentially saying again and again, this is about consensus building. This is something that I've done. He was talking about from the kitchen to the basement, from the basement to the kitchen. I've done it from the ground up. This is something that I'm very passionate about and something that I can definitely see continuing. Now, I do want to mention I had the chance to catch up in a first on CNBC interview with the Egyptian energy minister as well. And I said, any takeaways there? Were you surprised by some of the comments that you heard from the new Saudi energy minister? And he said, actually, because I spoke to him before and after the minutes of that meeting, he said, actually, it seems as if Saudi Arabia is looking to continue with a consistency level, not just when it comes to their own energy policy and trying to get that Vision 2030 off the ground, but also when it comes to being the leaders of OPEC. But I do want to mention something that you and I, Steve, have talked about often and often, not just with the Minister of Energy from Egypt, but also the Levantine energy ministers, about is the Eastern Mediterranean. We're talking about the Eastern Mediterranean containing as much as 3.5 trillion cubic meters of natural gas and 1.7 billion barrels of oil. I wanted to get those numbers specifically right when we're talking about the real opportunities there, because as you very well know, this is not just a matter of energy and about diversifying economies, but it's also it's all about national security, isn't it? And the opportunity, potentially, for a lot of countries that don't necessarily agree to start working together. Listen to what he had to say.
To be more practical and pragmatic, we thought of having this forum that includes countries that would like to have the opportunity to join other countries. So we say producing and consuming countries and transit countries.
These are countries that don't traditionally get along.
Exactly. But the idea is we were able to have all and to accommodate all the neighboring countries together in one room and to incept this forum. So we had our friends from Cyprus, from Greece, from Israel, from Jordan, from Italy, and from Palestine.
This is one of those opportunities, isn't it, where you literally see the business acumen or the business sense coming to the fore ahead of the politics.
Exactly. When there are interest, when there are economic interest, when there is good revenues, when there are good, let us say, earnings.
It's too good of an opportunity for these countries to pass up.
Politics would succeed if there are interest, if there are money, if there are economics. So politics will succeed. So therefore, I think that energy and specifically now gas is very important.
That sounds so very much like the view of President Trump.
Yeah, perhaps, but we are really seeing...
Putting business before politics.
Well, this is very practical. I mean, what drives politics mostly is economics. So if there is interest and there are good opportunities, I think that politics would, I would say, not would play a role, but would support. It should be supporting any economic opportunity or any business opportunity. At the end of the day, this business opportunity would be good for the people.
There was the Egyptian energy minister essentially saying there, when there are opportunities to work together, this is a situation where business can trump politics. We're talking about countries like Cyprus, Egypt, Greece, Israel, Italy, the Palestinian territories as well, and Lebanon, countries that have not traditionally worked together. But I think it's really interesting considering the backdrop of the conversations, especially over the last several months with regards to the Israel versus Hezbollah dynamic. You have the larger U.S. versus Tehran, Saudi Arabia, UAE versus Tehran, an opportunity there to talk about a real-time peace, at least from the business side of things. Still a very, very interesting story. Guys, going to hand it back to you. Hey, everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.